Hello, friends and lovers. What's up? It's Haelian, and we got another special run for you here. I mean, I call all the runs special. They all are special, you know what I mean? Pre-recorded equals special. Anyway, we're going to take out Lord Beowulf, aspect of Beowulf for the shield here. This is probably the best speedrun weapon in the game for Hades. I mean, it's always going to be a little bit debatable, but it's definitely has the biggest presence in the speedrun community. If you look at like the top 10 runs, I'm pretty sure at least half of them are with Beowulf, and the rest are just from other aspects here and there, like Hera and Hestia, I believe. Anyway, really powerful aspect, really clunky in a sense, but not just physically in how it acts, but also in just how it works. You know what I mean? What makes it so powerful is a couple of oversights in the code, you could say. But maybe we'll talk about that as we go. I've definitely talked about it before, but I'm kind of going to go over it in more detail on how to actually play it well. So step one, if you don't know, you load up your cast into Beowulf, and you can load up to all 3 or more if you got more at a time, and have them explode at the end of your bull rush. And this is very important to me, and it took me a little while, and I know you're going to want to resist, but rebinding your cast button to something that is more reachable while you're already charging your attack, so like this, you know what I mean? It's hard for me to press the normal cast button, which would be the B button on the controller, while I'm holding down the attack button. So it's kind of really important to put it somewhere else. And I got my controller layout, which I haven't used in forever, in the bottom right there. So you can look at that. I got the DPS meter still going on, so this isn't like an official run because I do have a couple mods happening here. But just give you a glimpse of it. We're going to take out Poseidon's keepsake because we want Flood Flare. And we usually would want to take Flood Flare for speedrun purposes just because it's just so consistent. It enables getting Mirage Shot very easily, very quickly is more important, really. You could high roll it and go for Passion Flare from Aphrodite to start, but then Mirage Shot is most likely going to show up later on if you do go for that. And I'm not like the renowned expert on Beowulf. I'm definitely not the best or anything far from it. But I know the basics. So here's going to be the mirror loadout. Pretty standard stuff. Nothing too special to think of there. We got God's Legacy because we really want Mirage Shot. We do not want to get scammed too early. Extreme Measures, Forced Overtime 2 are on. Those are the best packs to make things go fast. And we're going by the in-game timer, so no tight deadline there. So you want to charge that attack nice and early. Nice epic Flood Flare. You never settle for anything else. And hopefully the button layout will kind of help you. Hopefully it'll show you. So I'm going to charge up the attack with Beowulf. And then that's when I'm usually going to start. Ooh, nice. An extra cast right away. Negative move speed is fine. Free palm on the cast is amazing here. So I'm going to start charging, and then I'm going to launch throw a cast into it in the middle of that most of the time. Now, when we have tiny enemies like this in Tartarus, it's not going to make a big difference, because usually the bull rush itself is going to kill most of the enemies, so not going to be a big deal immediately, but that's okay. So palms are really important in any cast builds. You really want to palm those casts. It's more important than other builds, for generally, because the base damage goes up, therefore it gets affected better by other modifiers that you can get throughout the run. It's really important to get that cast up a couple times. So getting a couple palms as early as we have so far is actually really nice. I'm pretty happy with that. Wow, right into Boldy. It's lucky. Thank you, Boldy. We gift the boulder. We get plus 9% gold bonus. Beautiful. Now we take that into Aphrodite. So Aphrodite, not really a god we want to see. We got Mega there, just because we're still a little bit on the weaker end until we get things like Mirage Shot showing up. Wow, a swap? It's very tempting. It's very tempting. The thing is, that means we would have to get Poseidon again later on. Naturally, I can't even use the keepsake to get it. I don't like the call there. You know what? Let's be saucy. Let's be saucy. The great thing about Passion Flare is not just, hey, you saw how much more damage it gets, but also the AoE is quite a bit larger than Flood Flare. So that's not bad at all. It's kind of a casually run, so no big deal. The best in slot is charge shot. We did not get that. We kind of didn't get anything of importance here. We're not going to use the special, so the top twos are useless. The going big into the special in Beowulf works actually surprisingly well, but just it's its own run. It's just a very separate thing.
I'll pay for that.
Okay, I really want the attack. You could just take the special. Hyper sprint is good. Don't have to roll. Hyper sprint is the high roll. You kind of just want every run, whether you're doing high heat or if you're doing speed runs, just because it enables that rush delivery boon from Hermes that increases your damage by a monster amount, really. So it's just the go-to for Hermes every single time. Okay. And we're looking good. I'm not going to cover all the basics of speedrunning the game here, that's for sure. But because if you're interested in that, I have videos that are much more detailed. I'll link them in the description for you. Ooh, do I actually want to do that trial? I think I do, just to make sure we get Poseidon here. We can't get the duo boon from the trial. Yeah, just take splash dash. It's fine. So that Artemis boon cannot give us... It's just not possible to get duo boons in trials. One of the negotiations, because trials are quite powerful, players kind of gravitate toward them. I remember some discussions way back in the day about how pick rates around trials were quite high. And I can't remember if that's why they did it. Hunter's Mark, very good boon. That's why they made it, or if that was even different already. We're too broke for that, unfortunately. No Mirage Shop, but we're still... looking pretty good, though.
Hope I didn't keep you waiting, ladies.
This is actually a great setup. The timer's not, like, crazy amazing or anything like that, but the setup is absolutely phenomenal. You want to make sure this is going while the boss is kind of charging up that phase. So hopefully we can get the kill as soon as possible there. Beautiful, right? Kind of a good Beowulf run to start ourselves off with. It's kind of hard to mess up Beowulf as long as you focus on the cast. What you don't want to do is... there's just certain casts that don't work well. I mean, Slicing Flare is not good. Demeter's is just like the weakest of all the regular kind of casts that you can get. Demeter, it does like the same thing as Passion Flare, right? It does the same thing, but it's way less damage, way less range. So why would you take it over it? That's sort of the question there. No. So now we throw on Artemis's Keepsake. Make sure we get that. You don't want Demeter. Zeus is kind of wonky. Zeus is kind of like either it totally flubs or it's totally amazing. It kind of depends on the whole, do you get jolted, do you get double strike thing. It's actually kind of interesting like that. So it can definitely be bonkers, but it's not consistent, not like this. And Mirage Shot doesn't really help it. Actually, it's been a while. I think it doesn't really benefit from Mirage Shot. It's one of those things that just requires a lot of Zeus. I mean, Zeus always requires a lot of Zeus. And it's kind of hard to force the same god over and over again, right? We got a 50% rush delivery. It's acceptable. Right into Artemis. So now we're going to get that 100% damage bonus. Right after we dash. Whenever we have that move speed bonus, we will be dealing double damage. Simple as that. Even if we're doing other actions, we still technically have the move speed buff. So I want this to focus on Beowulf in particular. What do you want to do with Beowulf? Ooh, uh-oh. Gotta roll. Come on, Artemis. Yeah, baby. There we go. So this is particular to Beowulf. I mean, Mirage Shot is a good duo boon for any cast build. But in Beowulf, it says secondary shot damage is 30%. For some reason, Beowulf is bugged. It's 100%. Don't know why. Don't know how. Don't know why they didn't fix it. We just don't know. I don't need health. Do. Trippy Flare has some similar oddities to it. But I've covered that in other videos, so we'll leave that be. We missed the shop. It just didn't get offered here in Asphodel, which is unfortunate. Charge it up, drop it down, they're already dead. Drop mag. Very nice. Love it. Clean kill. We already have Hunter's Mark. I'll roll for pressure points. Is the 30% clean kill better? I feel like it's not.
The huntress.
We still want to palm that cast more here, more than anything. It's just the important piece of the build. It's what's gonna deal all the damage. Especially versus the bosses. Whoa. Buddy.
No, you don't.
So some other hammers. This is sort of the big discussion around this. Some other hammers. Again, you don't care about any of the special hammers. They're just not going to do very well for you. It's all about loading casts with the Beowulf. There is that wonky build. I don't even remember what hammers you want for that. The wonky build that centralizes on the special. Eurydice. Okay. Ooh, what do I think we actually gamble here. Pray hits rush delivery and or hypersprint. Can't hit the cast. It's actually reasonable to take the palms here. But we kind of have all the pieces already. We got hypersprint and Hunter's Mark. We wanted rush delivery really badly, but that's okay. Good time, huh? 318. Can't complain about that. Palm slice. Now I'll fill the god pool and take an urge to kill. Boom. Sounds good. Ares not the ideal god, but no big deal. I mean, it kind of doesn't matter now. We have everything. We have everything, and that's sort of important to remember when you're trying to go fast in the game. It's like we got everything we need, and it's tempting to like, oh, but what about this and what about that? What if I got this? What if I got that? It doesn't matter anymore. We've already won the game basically, but it is fun to see just how much damage we can get, how fast we can go and stuff, right? But yeah, if you're interested in just minimizing your time, you would not want to sacrifice, you know, an easy quick room for more damage at this point in a run. You know what I mean? If I got offered another trial, I would not take it ever in my life. That first trial was already kind of saucy to take, but now especially, there's just no reason to really centralize on fixating, trying to get all these different boons and things like that. Let's see. So we'll put on the dad keepsake. I had some questions about it. People are curious about why the dad keepsake. So it starts out 30% full. It fills a call boon slot, so we can't be offered call boons anymore, which is kind of a good thing. Sometimes it kind of depends. Stealth damage bonus. So we deal 100% more damage on a single use, and that can affect all the casts that we explode at the end of the charge for Beowulf. So that's a big chunk of D. That is a big chunk of D. I probably should have checked that first, in hindsight. I kind of forgot where we were. You want to check the well, because if there's cast damage or extra casts there, in fact, maybe we should have rolled for it. You'd really want to take Charon's keepsake there. Absolutely amazing. Some other hammers. So charge shot is the best in slot. Sudden rush is okay, just to get the charge out a little bit faster. Ferocious guard is okay. What's the other one? The sturdy one or whatever? We can roll this because none of these are special. Nothing for our cast. Ugh. These all kind of stink. These don't really help me. You never take that. And this just is annoying, so I'd rather just take nothing, essentially. Here's our second hammer. Extra cast damage or extra casts are kind of critical for most cast builds. Well, I mean, you don't have to have them, but it's just so easy to go for. Sliding around all over the place. Okay, so we got Breaching Rush. That's another okay hammer. Basically, there's Charge Shot, there's and then there's not Charge Shot for the most part. It's just kind of not a big deal what you take if you don't get it. Yeah, luckily, it doesn't really matter for how our build is going right now. I'm not going to throw our roll out there, I think. I did consider it. More Poseidon. Couldn't... Oh, okay, we can get both. We'll go for it. Oh, I did them in the wrong order, apparently. Sure, why not? Give it to me. Don't really want Ares here. You might say, like, why money over Ares, though? Like, what is the money gonna go for you? Well, if it allows me to afford extra cast damage from one of Charon's wells, that's a pretty massive bonus. That's 50% extra cast damage for a long period of time. Many, many encounters. Ow. But yeah, I was very resistant back in the day when other runners were saying, oh, it's important to rebind the cast button to something else. I was like, I'm kind of used to this. I don't want to change. Hunter's Mark. I'm trying to think of what boons we have. Kind of got everything.
Rematch.
I didn't want to change, but once I did, it didn't take long to get used to it. So try it out. Highly recommend. Come on, get him. Woo! Got him, baby. So if you look at the DPS meter there, it says range weapon did 62% of the weapon. That is our cast.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Hydraulic mic, boiling point. Ugh. Do I roll for breaking wave here? I think I roll for breaking wave. I didn't get it. Guess I'll take Typhoon's Fury after that, I suppose. Okay, I'm letting the cast just kind of drop, and I plan to get them later because there's an animation between them falling to the ground after they explode at the end of the Beowulf explosion. Explode at the end of the Beowulf explosion. So it takes a minute for, not a minute, but like a solid couple seconds for you to be able to grab them after they explode at the end. So don't plan too hard about hanging out trying to get them. Okay, Witch. Okay, everybody. Well, this is a bad situation. This is a joke, right? I'm using the special. Wow, I've never had something like this happen. Wow, I've never seen something so bad.
My boon from chaos is transformed.
What a nightmare, huh? Well, luckily we still had an option at least. Thanatos good for a speedrun. Pauses the in-game timer while you wait. So you'd want to run into him. I mean, not that you have a choice either way. There's no controlling if you see Thanatos or not. There's nothing that increases the odds. It happens or it doesn't. Simple as that. Same thing with survival rooms in Tartarus. You'd want to see them if you're trying to keep your in-game time low. So if you want to do that, you just make sure a tight deadline isn't on, and either you get it or you don't. It only happens in Tartarus, though, so you know quickly if it happened or not. Okay, buddy. So ideally, we'd actually have a reward here. See how the timer's still going while we're waiting for Thanatos? You'd get a reward that pauses the timer, like a palm or a boon. Man, just nothing here, huh? Take that for high confidence, I suppose. It was a good Asphodel, but our Elysium was pretty rough here in terms of luck in the rooms. Not to mention that witch fiasco. Do. No! That's my fault. Boom, 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 boom. Oh! Slow-moving purple arrow to the face. Rest in peace. Level 8 cast. Lovely. I have money, so I guess we'll go this way. More palms? There are indeed more palms. Hit urge to kill. I don't even care about buying the Aphrodite boon there. I guess you might ask why not. I guess it's like, I don't know. What'd I get? What would I get? Dying Lament? Rest in peace. That might be, I mean, it's hard to say. Is that my fastest heroes ever? It was pretty quick. It doesn't get a lot faster, I can say that much. And we surprisingly don't have, like, all the bonuses that you'd hope for. Okay. Nope, nothing there.
So close.
That one might be clippable. I don't know. I want to go back and time it.
What's with the air up here?
Thing is, just because we have the DPS mod on and I didn't show a death at the start of the run, that means it's inusable. You know what? This feels like an Anvil kind of run. Not even memeing. Ferocious Guard. Yeah, we didn't get charge shots still. I mean, there's nothing that can totally ruin it in a run like this. There are things that like would be slightly unpleasant, I believe. No, not really. Some people don't like certain ones like Sudden Rush. I'm okay with it though. Some runners I know aren't in love with it.
No use.
We only have one meg, so we're gonna have to wait. No megging there.
No way.
Let me out, let me out, let me out. And now we just pray for the sack. In case you don't know, I think that's a... I probably didn't say a lot of things in particular about Beowulf. It's just about getting used to the buttons, I think, mostly.
Should be useful.
Behind it. And the slow startup. Because it takes a bit for the bull rush to kick in, right? I can admit it. It feels clunky. All the speedrunners absolutely hated this weapon when it first came out. I mean, we loathed it. It was we thought it was a joke weapon. We thought it was so bad. And then very quickly, those things changed. We actually had an old speedrun hosted tournament called Hermes Cup, provided by myself and the one and the only Jerseys. It's like a Razor Shoals, I suppose. Probably shouldn't even be taking this money. And we forced the runners to use Beowulf, which was a new weapon aspect. And the runners that got stuck with, they're like, please, no, don't do this, please. No, they didn't want to do it. We told them well ahead of time. And so they wanted to practice it, but they were still complaining the whole time. But by the end of the practice, they were in love with it. They really were. It was a little bit different back then because it was still early access, but I don't think it was like so different. I think it was new and we didn't know the power of it. I'm not certain about the Mirage Shot buggy stuff or not. I don't know. I'm not certain if that was there. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. All right, Dad, let's see how fast you go. 7:50 is our time right now. Make sure Meg gets out there. That's one. I'm a little late. Oh, and I kind of missed. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Sloppy. It almost went good, except that he was doing a spin, so he kind of got out of the cast in it. Ugh. Once again, kind of missed. I want to dash. Make sure that I dash, because I want to get the rush delivery bonus. No, Daddy! 8:27. 37-second Hades fight. Not bad. A little sloppy, though. Could have been better. Could have been better, I gotta say. 8:27. Yeah, it's okay. It's only okay. Pretty good run, though. Like, very powerful run. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with how it went, for the most part. I didn't make any massive mistakes. Some questionable choices, perhaps, at moments. Rush delivery is the highlight. Sweet Nectar didn't really matter. That swap early on was actually really important. It worked out so well, didn't it? It was perfect. I'm going to say the +1 cast was the other highlight here, probably. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. So when it comes to using the dad keepsake, when do you use it in a fight like we just did? So you would charge up the bull rush, load up the cast, let that go, and then as the casts are exploding, then you try to use up that dad keepsake to get the bonus damage as they are exploding and get that bonus damage on them. Otherwise, it's going to be messy if you try to use it before the bull rush, which is your previous best opportunity, because it's only going to be on the actual attack that you swing. It's not going to work. You have to wait till the end of it, basically. But there you go. Thank you all so much for watching. If you got ideas what you want to see in the game, let me know. If you got questions, let me know in the comments. As always, like and subscribe if you haven't already either for some reason. And I'll see you in the next video.